Well, how's it going? Welcome back to another awesome, exciting episode of How to Invest in Commercial Real Estate. I'm speaking it into existence today, and we have another super exciting guest that I will introduce in 1 second. But if you are on our investor list, which if you're watching this, it would literally be mind-blowing if you're not on the investor list already, because we made it through over 100 episodes of us shamelessly plugging how you can get on our investor list. But if you still don't already know, it's easy. You go to our website. There's a big button that says join our investor list. And if you were on that list, you got an email last week while I was in Mexico. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Covered for you.
That said, we are launching our latest investment opportunity. And that is a super cool deal because it is a ground up, build to suit Starbucks and multi-tenant strip center with the Shipley's Donuts, a liquor store, smoke shop, and a little vacancy. And man, did it fly by.
Fort Worth, by the way, Fort Worth.
Did I say another city?
I don't know. I don't think you said the city, so I was just letting them know it was in Fort Worth.
Okay. I actually think it's in Marine Creek, Dallas.
Okay.
Since,
it could be.
Since we're correct.
Also, did you mention there's a Starbucks?
I feel like I mentioned the Starbucks too.
Okay.
Probably did.
Woo!
Anyway, if you saw it last week, it's already too late because we already oversubscribed to that investment.
Yeah, it was a small equity raise. So if you didn't check your email in the first day, then you missed the opportunity. But for the investors that got involved, we are super excited. We close on that tomorrow. And it's an awesome deal. We're going to build it. We're going to sell it. We're going to make tons of money. Woo!
Hope so. Speak it into existence.
The Feds also met again today, Joel.
Yeah, kept interest rates the same. It's the first time they've done that since March of 2022. Inflation has been coming down steadily over the last few months. I guess everyone's hopeful that it'll continue to come down and that will pause rate increases for the foreseeable future. And if we get below 3% probably on our way to 2% where they want it, they may start lowering interest rates again.
Inflation.
That'd be great.
Yep. Well, I think we've made her wait long enough. Everyone, we are super excited to have Aviva on. She is the managing broker of the Warehouse Hotline. She's located in Denver, and we are so excited to have you on today. So come on, tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do, and kind of why you're in commercial real estate, I guess.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I really appreciate y'all reaching out and you taking the time to chat.
Yeah, sure.
So, yeah, my name's Aviva. I'm a managing broker here in Denver. I'm a third generation warehouse lover in great state of Colorado. My grandparents fled Nazi Germany, came to America with nothing in their pocket. Epic immigrant story, which led to my gramps buying his first warehouse here in Denver in 1984. We still own, lease and manage that property to this day.
Oh, wow. 40 years later.
Yeah, it's sweet. Gramps knew what was up. I met him, but my father, from that warehouse, realized there was something to warehousing and went on to syndicate 10, 15 property portfolio of warehouses in the Denver metro area before warehouses were cool. And we still lease and manage a large portfolio, as well as do third party leasing management, the works, brokerage. But I joined the family business at 22. Just love warehousing, love the legacy and the people and the players and the deals. And I realized that what was probably beachfront property for my old man or for my grandpa, beachfront property in Malibu is not what my beachfront property in Malibu will be. I feel like beachfront property in Malibu for commercial real estate today is the internet and digitally facing. And so I decided to hop on the internet, start talking about it. And then I just realized there was a huge demand for people to talk about this industry online, a small supply of folks like you who are forward thinking enough to get there in an industry that has generally been super resistant to publicly speaking about anything outside of their friends and family. And that is what landed us here today.
Nice.
Yeah, I love that.
So what, do you have a favorite platform that you use? on social media?
Well, I like them all for different reasons, right? Like for my own personal consumption, probably go to YouTube more. For dealing with my own friends, community, inner circle, city, probably Instagram. If I want to waste 2 hours on mindless like content, probably TikTok. If I want to get in, if you want to get crazy right now in commercial real estate discussions, Twitter. Twitter's insane right now. So just depends what mood I'm in, how much coffee I've had.
That makes sense. Aaron, did you hear that? Did you catch that? Okay.
Yeah, so super interesting getting into industrial property and warehouse in Colorado, and you guys were so ahead of the game, and then you had a stroke of luck where they were one of the first to legalize marijuana, and then the whole world changed for you guys. Probably doubled the value of your portfolio overnight, or at least in the first couple of years of that. Is that boom still happening? Are there still deals in Colorado in industrial and office and warehouse? Not office, but office warehouse maybe? Tell us about that.
Oh my gosh. So yes, I was definitely in the passenger seat on January 1st, 2010, when Colorado was the first state to recreationally legalize cannabis. I think that's what they call it.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's a limited inventory of C-class warehousing, anywhere there was limited inventory, and Denver is a city of small businesses. Overnight, the weed industry absorbed 25% of the C-class warehouses in the city. Obviously, rent prices and property prices went through the roof. It was crazy, very, very cool to experience like such a high and just this revolutionary reality for the warehouses and legalization and new industries. I digress. Anyway, that high, with the highs comes the lows.
You keep talking about high.
Yeah. Tell us about what you did this morning.
Speaking of cannabis.
Start talking about what happened recently, which was bound to happen, but people still act surprised. More legalization throughout the country led to less of a demand for the product, and the cannabis industry is a bloodbath here in Colorado now. Like by all this, only the strongest have survived. I've been in too many warehouses that have been destroyed by various grow operations, and but it did ultimately propel our specifically C-class warehousing forward, and it was definitely wild to watch.
Yeah, you're telling the exact story that's going on in Oklahoma right now. That exact scenario, because we legalized it 3 or 4 years ago. The exact same scenario is playing out.
We had a showing once on a building that was it was zoned for pot, and we were showing it. We generally try to stay away from those types of tenants, but there's a few exceptions. And the guy brought $50,000 in a suitcase in his trunk to the showing. And he said, I have the money. I have the deposit. It's in the trunk. I have cash, 50 grand. And I was with my old man. He said, I don't want it.
Yeah.
I don't want anything to do with that. And that was the kind of stuff you used to see. But
during those times, yeah, it's funny.
So you're saying you're bringing this new wave of technology into commercial real estate, which you said has been, resistant to these sort of things. And I think we've tried to do a very similar thing, not necessarily just with social media, but with a lot of aspects of the business, just bringing it online into an easier, more accessible, younger, above board transparency, I guess I'll say. And we've had a lot of feedback with that. So what have you found that social media and you being online talking about social media or talking about commercial real estate and what you guys are doing with these warehouses in Denver, where have you seen the value that's added to your family business?
I think if you were to say like dollar for dollar value, it's probably realistically my immediate community, like and their community, just if you're just pounding content about warehouses in Denver for years on end, eventually somebody's going to say, I need a warehouse in Denver. And then the way that we consume social media, you have to look at your own consumption habits to understand other people's consumption habits. And we spend a lot of time on Instagram. So if it's free to post valuable content to other people through that medium, it just makes a lot of sense and is effective. The social media thing, as you know, it's a long game. But, right, it's not an overnight, it's not a post and cash the check. But this industry, commercial real estate, is also a long game. And so I figure I might as well just play the two at the same time and see what happens.
Yeah, I think that's completely right. I think you're going to have a ton of people, right, that are seeing you talk about warehouses. Hey, I need a warehouse. Who do I call? The warehouse lady. I mean, we're all doing that, right? Are you seeing any funnels into, hey, how do I own something like this? How do I get involved in something like this? How do I buy something like this? Or is it strictly, more leasing stuff?
Oh no, overwhelming curiosity, and there's an overwhelming number of people who want to invest with me. That's probably been the most shocking thing, or how many people are like, I have 50, I have 75, what are you buying? And I'm like, oh my God, I don't even know you. But that's the reality of the future, and being internet facing. Sure, I'm not getting all my sellers are not all from Instagram by any means, but it's working, thankfully. I've got a couple brokers under me and I keep them busy for the most part. Right now it's pretty crazy, but
yeah, a couple of things that struck me is talking about the cyclical nature of what happened in Colorado, and then Brian mentioning that it's happened here in Oklahoma. I want people listening to understand that is a bedrock of commercial real estate investing. Not all industries go through these cycles like commercial real estate, and we won't get into the details there. That's probably a whole podcast, is talking about how the cycle flows and what are the indicators of each section of the cycle. But this is a game that is a long game, and when you don't have enough product to meet demand, developers go to work and they start churning out more square footage because it's hot and everybody wants it and prices are going up. And then what happens? Interest rates go up, or they legalize pot in other areas. Now the demand starts going down. Well, all these projects have started, and so they're going to go ahead and finish them out. So that's going to put a glut of square footage in demand on the market that will not get absorbed, at least not initially. So then people start to lower their rent prices to get those tenants. And so then it starts to drive the prices back down. And so that's how this thing goes. And you're not going to get out of being in cycles when you're in commercial real estate. What people might do is they might get in a cycle at the wrong time, and it doesn't go well, and they say, shoot, I'm never going to do that again. But they didn't recognize that was just a short window in time. And the biggest example we have of this is 08 and 09, where literally the world ended in commercial real estate. And the best deals in the history of commercial real estate in my lifetime were available in 2009 and 2010 and 2011. And that's when a bunch of people decided they were getting out of commercial real estate. So I think it's just a broader point that I wanted to bring up is this is a game that has cycles, and you need to learn the cycles. And don't get discouraged when you're on the wrong side of a cycle, because the wrong side of a cycle means you're really close to the right side. All right, so how do we put them in, our listeners in touch with Aviva after the show?
You just got to go to the warehousehotline.com. It's beautiful.
Oh, that's easy.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you being on social media and promoting commercial real estate. Appreciated hearing about your story in Denver. It's a great market if you can afford it.
Great family story, too.
Yeah. So thank you for coming on today. We really appreciated it.